All right, pizza dough. On Friday, you can make your own pizza, and I'm going to do this in 3 parts. Mix the dough, then it's going to rise. Part 2, I guess, maybe, is when I cut it up. I let it rise for a half hour to an hour. Usually I just cover it and stick it in my microwave. And then take it out. I cut it up into portions. There are 5 of us. I make 5 dough balls. Put that in a plastic container and put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. So the entire process, I don't know, 2 hours. You can do it in an hour maybe. But that's what I found I was not doing when I was trying to make pizza dough at home, and that was the part of putting it in the refrigerator. That made it easier to roll out and shape for each pizza. And then we usually grill it for just a minute on each side, and then everyone puts on their toppings and it goes in the oven. That's what we do now. It's like it changes every, I don't know. We did it differently in Idaho. Anyway, I usually rinse out my mixing bowl because it's been sitting on a shelf in the dining room, and I just rinse it with some warm water because we're going to have activate the yeast. So I have a 2-cup measuring, and my measurements I used to measure. I don't measure much anymore. I go up just below the 2 cups. So I'm gonna get some. But before I do that, put my bowl on here, and I now use. I used to go up to 4 tablespoons. Now I just use like 1 heaping. So I'll put that in there first. Then I'm going to put my teaspoon of yeast in there to get it going. Well, no, I'm going to do water. I'm going to do the warm water now. And now we have a fancy water dispenser that has hot water. And you just don't, you want the water warm to the touch. You don't want it hot. So you know that like, that little sting when the water is hot. You don't want hot. There's a little sting there. All right, so this is just under 2 cups. Maybe I put a little too much hot. It'll cool down in a second. All right, so it's in there with, that's it. That's the only reason I have a measuring cup. Okay, so it's in there with the sugar. I am going to whisk it, but first I'm going to whisk my flour, because it's been packed in here, before I get my whisk wet. My yeast. I used to do 2 teaspoons. Now I'm doing a lot less. No, what am I going to do? Like, not quite a teaspoon, I think, today. I'm going to give that a second. Or I guess I could stick an ice cube or something in there. That's too bad that I did. All right, I'm going to check the temperature because I let it get too hot. You just don't, what is it, like 115? You don't want it, or else you're going to kill your yeast. It's 115, 118. It's 118, so that's not going to take long. Cool down a few degrees. Right. Drop of cold water. All right, I'm gonna put a drop of cold water. It's got to be enough to bring it down. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put a little more flour. 113, 114, 114.6. I'll take it. Right by the time I get this put away. Yeah, okay. I mean, you'll get used to it, you know, if you don't do this already. If you don't play with yeast, just touching it, the water, making sure it's warm, not hot. Or, you know, you don't have to do this part. You can just mix it in with flour and stuff. Okay, not quite a teaspoon. Actually, I'm not gonna just sit here and wait for it to rise or, you know, foam, activate, whatever. Okay, I'm done with the sugar. You don't want to put the salt in right away. You want some other stuff in there, or else you could possibly kill the yeast again. So, all right, yeast, you're gonna soak up some sugar. I'm sure that's enough. Maybe should I whisk it? I'll whisk it. So before I put my hook on, I usually put in 2 cups of flour. I think total you probably end up using 5 or 6 cups. I'm just using AP. Sometimes I throw in some bread flour. Olive oil, I think I'm gonna use a couple. I used to use a quarter. I'm gonna use 2. Use 3. And then while I have it out, I'm going to put some in my glass bowl because this is where I'm going to put the dough when I'm done and let it rise in here. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to whisk that in. You know you can do this without a stand mixer, it's just that KitchenAid makes it so much easier. So much easier, and it still takes a while. There we go. Now we can put salt in. I'm gonna use a heaping teaspoon of kosher. To be refilled. Heaping teaspoon. Okay, done with that. Now I shall put in my hook. You'll reach, won't you? Ah, nice. Okay. And now you pretty much just keep loading in the flour until it comes away. So I'm going to put 2 more. That's it. Now it's just watching it. I usually walk away. Pizza every Friday. Every Friday. show you, but can I show you? I'll try to show you. I'll have to find out where. It's coming together pretty quickly today. Yeah, it's still sticky, so it's going to need a little more. I wonder if I can. You just keep adding a little bit at a time, quarter cup at a time. Keep adding a little bit at a time until it's coming off the bowl. That might be enough. Okay. What do you think? Sound good? And I keep a little bit for later when I'm gonna roll it out. Okay. Ready, dough? Still looks a little shaggy. That's all right. Okay, it's coming off the bowl. So olive oil, I spread it around the bowl with my fingers. And I'm going to use this hand to get the dough out. My oily hand is going to take the dough off the hook. Get it out. I'm just going to gather it in the bowl. Put it in there. Turn it over. That's it. Well, I could wash my hands so I can put my cover. The oil. Something stinks in my sink. Right. I got these cool bowl covers. Instead of using plastic every time. There it is. Put it in my microwave because it's kind of warm in there. I'm going to leave it there for at least a half hour. Cool. And then I'll come back and how do I get that bowl? I will come back and show you how I portion it and stick it in the fridge. Okay? That will be